He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife. The staged friends. Narcissists have fuel matrices. What this means is that each narcissist has a fuel matrix which is compiled of different people who have different categorizations with regard to the potency of the fuel that they provide. Thus, strangers are non-intimate tertiary sources. Their fuel is not very potent. Family members, friends, colleagues, neighbours, they are non-intimate secondary sources. Their fuel is of moderate potency. You have intimate partner secondary sources of the shelf variety and dirty little secrets. You have the primary source, usually intimate, sometimes non-intimate. You have former intimate partner primary sources. And all of these individuals hold various positions within the fuel matrix. And if you want to understand more about those positions and what they all mean, please do read my brilliant book, Fuel, which you can get on Amazon or in the Knowledge Vault, link in the video description. By understanding that you are part of that fuel matrix and where you sit in that fuel matrix helps you make sense of your relationship with the narcissist. Friends are non-intimate secondary sources. Why do I call them non-intimate secondary sources? Well, you understand it to be a friendship, but it isn't actually a friendship to the narcissist. You are an appliance to the narcissist. Now, most narcissists don't actually consciously think of you as being an appliance. That is how they subconsciously view you, because you're an object, you're a toaster, you're a television set, you're a washing machine. But what it means is you are there to do the bidding of the narcissist. You are there to be controlled. You ought to be under control. You ought to be anticipating the needs and requirements of the narcissist. Even if they don't say what they are, you should know them, because that narcissist is amazing. They are the centre of the universe, and you should have due regard to that. You should pump out fuel without question, potent and plentiful. You should provide character traits and residual benefits. The narcissist is actually interested in having a friendship with you because they like you. No. The narcissist doesn't have a friendship with you because they enjoy your company. They'll tell you that because that's what they're led to believe by their narcissism as the means of asserting control over you. But the reason why the narcissist bothers with you as a friend is because of what you can do for the narcissist by virtue of your position within the fuel matrix. The unaware narcissist believes that they like you, believes that you're good friends, because the narcissism causes them to have that mindset so that they pursue the prime aims from you. The nature of friendship is the route to get to the destination of the prime aims. But in actual fact, no narcissist has any genuine friends. They are simply individuals that are there to be used. And what can often happen for certain narcissists is that their treatment of people, the fact that they become known for using people because the narcissism doesn't always execute the control in the best way that it should, results in that narcissist being exposed as a user, that they simply pick people up and then put them down, that you don't hear from the narcissist until they need something. That the behaviours of the narcissist leave people thinking, there's something a bit off about this person. I don't really like being around them. I don't really want to be friends with them. That the narcissist tries to create a friendship where one doesn't exist. That in actual fact you're acquaintances, but the narcissist, with that lack of boundary recognition and sense of entitlement, makes it seem like there's actually more going on, that you're much closer. And this one's wife is no different in that regard. You recall that just recently, in an attempt to maintain prominence and have her talked about, that there was this one's wife being papped, leaving a restaurant. And it was suggested that she was having lunch with Kimberly Paisley, an actress. However, it's now being suggested that that wasn't actually the case. As ever, I'll leave it up to you to determine the veracity of this. I'm providing you with the analysis to help you understand narcissism. But somebody called Just Saying wrote on X, they weren't even lunching together. This one's wife was alone with her security, and got up and left at the same time as Kimberly Paisley. Another puff piece from this one's wife. She was hoping for someone more famous than Kimberly would be dining there, but no one was, so she has to settle for her. On the face of it, that seems preposterous, doesn't it? That you'd be dining alone, and when you see somebody that's reasonably well known exiting a restaurant, you basically tailgate them to make it look like you've had lunch together. Sounds stupid. I mean, seriously, who would do that? This observation might not be accurate. It might be. She was having lunch. But there are two things which suggest that that rumour might be accurate. The first is that the narcissist, as I've just explained, doesn't have any genuine friends, and because of the way that she's conducted herself and her dwindling popularity, this one's wife finds herself struggling to find friends. Furthermore, given her level of delusion, she is somebody who could just be so preposterous that she would follow somebody out of a restaurant to make it look like they've had lunch together, so that when she's papped, it seems that the two of them are together when it actually wasn't the case. Yes, she's potentially that bonkers. But secondly, she has form in that regard. Do you remember in May of last year when this one's wife went out to dine at a sushi restaurant in Monte Shitshow? Yes, you do. It was a Michelin star sushi restaurant. And apparently, this one's wife was there dining with Cameron Diaz. But hilariously, the picture that was shown, that emerged from it, shows Cameron Diaz stood outside talking to someone as this one's wife walks past. It's almost as if she's searching for her lighter or telephone or valet ticket outside, and this one's wife happens to walk past, and as usual, backgrid are on hand to capture the moment for the purposes of making it seem like this one's wife actually has got some friends. We have seen this staged behaviour before, and therefore it follows that if she's done it once, she's likely to do it again. Because remember, what is it that a narcissist is focused on? Is it thinking about, well, this might get uncovered and you'll be ridiculed for having snaps with people who you weren't actually having lunch with? No. Her narcissism is focused on, let's assert control in the now by getting a picture taken that shows us with somebody else so that people will talk about it and it makes us look popular. That's all that matters. The impact in the moment. Her style of narcissism isn't thinking about the possibility of exposure. Her style of narcissism isn't thinking about the possibility that someone might suggest that actually she wasn't having lunch with Kimberly Paisley and that she was on her own, and then she becomes ridiculed. The narcissism isn't interested in what's going to happen in the future. The narcissism is interested in the now. And therefore, for someone like this one's wife, who craves publicity and popularity, but is struggling for popularity, isn't a particularly interesting or likeable individual, who has had many people who might have considered themselves as friends shunning her, it's entirely conceivable that she would stage such an event in order to make it look like she has got friends. What do you think? Do you think the lunch with Kimberly Paisley was staged? That this one's wife tailgated her out of the restaurant? Or do you think that's preposterous and they did have lunch together? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.